probably 5 o'clock every single morning. She can wake up and she can cook and she can quarrel.
Tell you what quarrel about.
What does she quarrel about?
Various things that you know we as children would have done. Somebody use all the matches and put back the match stick in the box. And she comes to cook and she can't find the match to light the stove. Stuff like that.
Left
my plate in the sink. She would take the plate.
Yes.
And come in the bedroom and put it on me. So when they turn around, I roll straight in the gravy.
Yeah, you are just like me. I would do the same thing.
You mean to tell me that I clean the kitchen to get up to cook.
To that.
When I get these, I put it in the bed.
I used to do that too.
Put it in the bed.
Well, many more as if a gravy on my shirt.
You had to learn the tough way, right? You had to learn, so they had to learn the tough way too.
I had to wash, starch, iron, cook. Man, I did Cinderella for my family.
Wow.
Cause you know, when you raise up soil,
But what I love is that you've been able now in your stage of life to be able to pass on those lessons to your children, which is good because look at him. You see the success he is today.
All of them.
Yes, but you know he in particular because he's the one doing all the filming of you, so now you see that a lot of the values that you would have instilled, and you thought maybe he was a little hard-headed. But look at how he's now living it out. The things
you know, you get a man, he didn't real hard. He's going to tell you do
nothing. You can't look at him and tell?
You're going to tell that. He's going to tell me, oh, this body's mother can't tell to do this, the other mother. And I didn't want it, because I didn't tell him, I talking to he.
Yes.
So he want to tell me this body mother can't get to do nothing, so he don't want to do it. But not with me, you got to do it.
Who was that little boy? That was me?
Yeah.
I don't recognize.
Listen, I thought I didn't make round punch. I tell you, David, cut these lines for me. David didn't want he outside playing and probably cut off his finger.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got to stir here still.
Ooh. See how this one here?
As a young boy,
yes,
all the children outside playing.
Yes.
And she always go call me the time we come inside and do something. So at that point, I think my uncle was getting married and she wanted me around. I don't know what happened, but I took the bag and I went to hit the bag with the knife.
Right.
And my finger somehow got him.
Hardiers, you want to hear?
We walk from Newton to Oystein. Then I catching the bus, we got to walk.
That's a mother for you. That's it. That's
hanging on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen. We have one of those videos on social media we want to share with our audience. We were talking, man, of course, David, man, we would have captured all of this to share with our audience so they get a good perspective. For those of you who didn't see it, because you have not yet seen David Davis's social media, take a look at this.
Talk to me, come talk to me about asking me just about these red metal pieces.
No, I tell you if to come on boat, how to get up here.
How you feel to get here if to come on board?
When I catch a bus. I got taxi.
That is wisdom.
Yeah.
How did it get here?
She's asked some things that we want to like. Where you get this question from?
Yes.
Because when they got there that morning, like first she asked me about these red metal pieces, how to get, but she was to come by a boat, and she came to her own conclusion, but she catch a bus or a taxi.
Yes. That is so sweet. Is this? Oh, the time we have the one with it. Take a look at this one. I'm not going to tell you yet. Just take a look at this one.
Yes, I'm God.
We ready for it? Are we ready?
Well, you know they sanitation department carry everything.
So what are you going to do with it?
I know what you're going to do with it.
Let me cafe one.
We got certain days that stuff does get kept though. We don't say big garbage.
I went to just put some bone there for the cat.
I too stop feeding that cat.
So he was getting moisture about the plate.
Oh.
One man I get it in my house, I know he getting it there.
In your house? That mean that you cat then?
In my house, I had to try and hold the boy neck with a cloth and put it outside.
He's on me, you can get back in. But if you're feeding cat all the time, the cat can follow you.
They just keep very moist.
Right.
So I put food out there for them.
Oh, you know the difference between a moist and a rat?
I mean, as a rat, you use a moist.
Is this the first time you're seeing yourself do this?
No, I just see
you
it.
Back at
I got it. I look at it and laugh.
I laugh at yourself.
I can't believe it.
Oh my word! And so, David, what are your brothers and sisters saying to you about what you're doing with Mommy?
Well, my brothers, unfortunately, both my brothers have passed.
Right.
Rojo and my older brother. My sisters just love it, especially Kathy.
Yes.
You hear her referring to Kathy all the time. Kathy is always nearby standing up.
Okay.
Right? Kathy just love it. I know my my wife is probably wonder, why every evening he go by his mother, but you see how tears get. My eyes make me laugh and they cry every evening.
It is so sweet. Carmen, you are a true gem, you know. I'm serious. And I'm so happy that your son has been able to capture this, to bring it to Barbados. Because we need a little laughter.
Yeah, for sure.
We need a little bit of wisdom as well from our seniors in society as well. And you represent all of that for us.
Yeah.
You do that so easily
never believe it.
And she's into the herbs, you know, all the bush teas and everything.
Yeah.
I was raised on a lot of bush tea.
Never believe
Oh,
it.
no. I got home bush tea in the fridge.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Never believe it yet.
You never. 'Cause I saw one of the videos where you had, it's like a basket, some container as if you had, I don't know
That
what
she
it was.
made?
Like it was
Right.
cement.
Cement, yeah. So she uses this technique where you mold like fabric and put cement on it to harden it
Put it in
and make
cement.
pots.
Put it in cement
Right.
and then put it over. Could put it over that and make up a veil.
That is so creative.
I really get it off of YouTube.
She's a
you
YouTube
know.
scholar. And
could
she's
find
very
it good
well versed when it comes to technology and you know, tablets and stuff.
My tablet wasn't working, so I get to my son-in-law to get it do. The man say he can't get it do. So I tell him, let him fella keep it and take out parts out of it.
Right.
A grandgirl of mine tell me, Gran, bring it home, I going to look at it. She ain't care. And I said, I don't know why I do it, but it working.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do it, but it working.
And she can navigate. Maybe here she talking about navigating Facebook and talking to Google, because I don't know, she think Google is a person.
Yeah.
'Cause I asked Google and Google tell me this.
Nice. That's sweet. So, but David, here it is. You have an amazing amount of talent as well for decorating,
Thank you.
making spaces come alive and feel good. You got it from mommy?
I would think so. I would think so. Without knowing it, I would think so.
We call it needlework.
Yeah.
I used to do needlework.
I grew up. You all had a machine in the house.
Yeah, I
right?
always had a machine.
Make clothes and stuff. Yeah,
Make the children school clothes.
Yes.
I tried making pants, but must make but one. You know, I just keep my money. I do servant work.
Right.
I invent in the field, pick palm grass, double grass, all them kind of things I do till I get in the road. I worked 19 years and a half in the road.
Wow.
I had to make it for my children, my one.
And you have no regrets?
No, I
I
regret.
work many times.
What? Right. If she walk work, she can walk back home.
Many times. Yeah.
Because they had the bus fare, so I walk work. But at the tell, I used to play the one-arm bandit to school them. But in 25 cents, $5 come out, I done that, put it in the more.
Right, that's right. Walk with your winnings. You did what you had to do.
Yeah, and I never complained. People
never
talk about hardship. I can't say that I meet it hard. No, I never complain. You know, I do what I had to do because it did my duty.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I like here?
That's me.
You wear lipstick.
No?
That a lipstick?
Yeah, lipstick, the
You
lady
wear
put it up on me.
I had to touch you for all these years.
I used to wear and powder my face, but then I don't really get in town.
Did that anymore,
I could buy it, but I do things.
It looks nice on you though, you know.
I like to look nice.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. My girl Carmen.
I like to dress up.
You are an amazing person, Carmen Davis.
Thank you for that. Thank you very much.
I am thrilled to have met you. And David, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For
Blessings.
doing for your mother.
Blessings.
What I wish more people would do for theirs. You know, a mother is truly a blessing.
Yes.
And to be able
Exactly.
to work with her in the way you bring out the best in her that everyone sees, because she did that for you.
And that's what drove her popularity too. A lot of people say, you know, they lost their mother, or she reminds them of their grandmother or something. You know, the typical Bajan grandmother mother.
Yes.
That's what she represents.
Yes. And she does it
from years
so
ago.
well, so well. So you have become like that favorite auntie, that favorite granny for the whole nation.
The whole nation. He got me all over the world.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Speaking of which, what kinds of responses have you had from all over the world? Or what are people saying from all over the world? Or are
That's
they
what I
mostly
told you
Bajans?
just now. Everybody wanted to meet my mother. Right now, I am her chauffeur, photographer, videographer, bodyguard. I wear so many hats now. Like Saturday, I had to take her down to a hotel to meet one of her fans. Then I had to take her someplace.
Wow.
I'd be driving her all about just to meet people.
Wow.
You know, I mean, people come in, they always got this big bag for, this is for Starman. You know, yeah.
And some people just leave it as they come to meet me. I said, well, dear, just come to meet me.
That's what I mean.
Take
That's what I
money
mean.
bar there.
Right, so she has this wish to have her 81st birthday. She wants this big meet and greet where all the people that want to meet her could come out and meet her. So I'm presently planning that for her. Wow. Of course, I can decorate it.
Yes,
you know
of course.
I mean? You got to have, you know, the feel and the theme, the star.
Yes.
So that's going to be on the 16th of March, which is a Sunday, and mostly it'll be at Golden Sands Hotel.
So I like it there. I know you like to put in the sauce. I know that from watching you too.
I took her there on Saturday. She had a wonderful time.
So why that about you put in the sauce? He tell about, what you ask about 10 out of 100?
I asked you how much you give out of 10. You tell me you get 100.
100. The taste, you like the best put in the sauce I ever taste.
Really
you could taste the salt and the lime.
Right.
But I tell the lady I want fat. She give me enough ears and enough tongue.
Here.
She know I could hear and I could talk now, but no, she give me to talk more. It was real nice.
Carmen. Enough tongue, enough ear.
Enough tongue, enough ear. I could hear good and I could talk enough, so I get all that ear from. But it was nice.
You must have been something. You had sisters and brothers?
Yeah, I got sisters. Yeah, I got sisters and brothers from my father's side, but they mean.
And you were the one who was hardiest?
No, I didn't hard yet. I did obedient. I had to tend to keep them there. I raised all them there.
Oh, you okay?
I was a nice girl.
She had to assume the role of the mother.
Let me tell this thing, but trouble me. Let he tell you.
See what I trouble you. You see what I tell you.
I don't trouble nobody, but
don't trouble you.
That's right.
I could tell.
That's right. When she get serious, it's be a totally different person.
I can't tell.
Unwavering. This way is and this way is like nobody can touch now.
I don't interfere people, but don't interfere with you. Son.
My kind of girl you are, Carmen. I like you a lot. I am so happy that I've had the opportunity here on Mornin Barbados.
I'm glad to know that I meet you too.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
And she and Silly works here?
No, he's no longer with us.
He at the hospital?
Yeah. How you see? You keeping track?
That's my cousin.
You're joking.
I used to call his grandfather, uncle.
Okay, well that's nice. That's good. That's very good. See, it's a small world. Small little world we live in.
Smaller than that. I mean, now we move with her more often. She got this thing that she does where when she meet you, she can ask you, so who your name?
Yeah, but come
again. She's trying to work over it. So if you know you got so much family about so much family.
If you're a Bascom, your family to me, a Celia and a Haynes.
Right.
It's my family.
So you have family to the Bowens at all?
No Bowens.
Kadir. Kadir. But thank you, David. Thank you, Carmen.
I tell David, it's the boy what you want me to do now, what you want me down here for. I didn't get it done.
I know you on TV, girl. You're on TV.
You want to show all your fans.
All of them. Yes, talk to your fans. Talk to your fans.
Well, good morning to my fans. I done at CBC. It is.
CBC
Mornin Barbados.
Uh-huh.
Talking a lot as a custom. And I'm glad to see Mr. Boyne and the other fellow over there. Glad to meet you all. And my friends and families, have a nice day and God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, David, as well. The Davises. We're going to see that show coming to TV real soon, right?
Who knows?
Boy?
Who knows?
I just gave you an idea.
The Davises, that's wonderful.
There you go.
I mean, these are ideas that I've had, but, you know, busy and I like to do things on the fly. I don't really edit. You realize that?
I know.
I would just do
real.
I would just do it, and I think that's part of the reason why people embrace it that way.
You're right. You're right.
Because
it's natural.
It's natural.
No editing, no putting on, no rehearsal.
Nothing.
It just happens.
I just gotta talk to her, and at some point she gets to something that make me laugh. Once she asks great questions.
Yes.
He don't even ask me if I want to come. Mr. Boyne said he want to see you. He asked me if I want to come. He telling me, this body want to see you, the other body want to see you. He should ask me, well, such and such a body want to see you if you want to go. I'll be able to say yes or no. He don't ask me, just tell me and I come.
You come.
I come.
So obedient you are?
I come.
Well, you tell me that I the father, no, you the child.
He said he's the father and I the child, so I got
to obey. He said so, you said so.
He said what he tell me so.
He tell me so here.
He tell me so, my he leading me. But when I go in the supermarket, he just give me beer trouble. I don't like going in the supermarket because he want me pick up what he want.
He rushing you.
He want me pick up what he want.
David, in my busy day, David, I just want to pay Marcy and pick up X.
Right.
I don't know.
One, yeah.
Once we get in there, she's picking up 10.
Everything.
Because I want it.
Because you see it.
No, I didn't want it.
That's it.
I didn't have no. I mean, I tell you, I want to get tomato ketchup or something, but there's something else that I want that I ain't got.
Right.
Then I want to get my sweetie.
See?
He want me getting the sweetie, and then kind of thing. So he like to
Rush you.
Rush me.
Don't rush you. I've been there. I know. My mother. I got it. I got you, girl. That's a mother's thing.
Yeah, you know, you're dead done. You're dead done. Don't ever step into market.
Don't.
You're dead done.
But you know, for a lot of mothers, you know, David, that's a social gathering for them. You know, they get to meet and see other people.
And she bought the postman and talking long.
Well, I ain't seen this postman for years, and if he fella come by me, it's obviously going to talk with him.
Yes.
I didn't know you, and I would talk to you because I can ask you where you live,
Correct.
where your name,
Yes.
all that kind of thing, like asking questions.
Nice. That's the only way to know.
Like
Ask
asking
questions.
questions.
All right, Carmen and David, I got to leave it there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm glad to meet you all.
I can't wait for the
Wonderful.
sequel, the project known as the Davises, and you put it out and let's have it on TV.
There's a lot more. There's a lot more to come from her, you know.
Yeah,
You know
I
that.
know. So
Okay.
get it.
How much more you got?
All of them, because you have such a creative family. And I'm sure that your daughter Summer.
Yeah, Summer.
And your wife, your daughter's
All
going to
them.
jump in there too.
Everybody got us.
Jump in there. Let's see the Davises.
All them,
Let's
all
get this
them.
on Netflix.
Like, if that resonates some more, you know, it's
Let it marinate in your head a little longer. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
The 16th, we're going to got a big day.
Oh, I can't
Big
wait.
day 16,
That
full
will
of
be on
sound.
the video as well.
Yes.
You coming?
You're inviting me?
Yes, I'm inviting you and the other
Yes,
fella there.
Maybe so. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you so
So
much,
tell you which
Carmen.
place it will be.
Golden Sands.
Golden Sands. Okay.
Yeah.
I know where that is
Yeah,
too.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, Golden Sands. So glad to meet you.
You too.
It's got to touch so to touch, you know, start talking, you know, we start talking, you know.
All right, so Carmen and David,
Yes.
Davis, thank you very much. Good to meet you. I
yes,
wish you
glad to
well
meet you too.
and continue being as insightful as you are indeed.
yeah,
and may
yes,
God really richly bless
Yeah,
you
God will bless
to see
you
many,
all.
many more years with your faculties in
I would like
place.
to live
That's
another
brilliant.
80 years, yeah.
And I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, another 80 years.
All right, my dear.
I never meet it rough, to my belief.
Yes.
And no, I don't have no children, it's just my one. I would be cool as a cube. I may want no salt.
We're going to take a break. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere.
Are you?
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Well, if you're between the ages of 6 and 16 and you're looking for a little fun, some educational, cultural experiences, then this is for you. It's a project by the National Cultural Foundation where they're now opening up the opportunity for everyone in that age cohort to be a part of the classes for the Landship. Joining us to talk a little bit more about what's involved is Rashida Brereton, who is the coordinating lead, and with her is the Chief Cultural Officer, Andrea Wells. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Andrea, I'll start with you. Give us a sense of why the NCF is engaging in these workshops on the Landship.
Well, the NCF, and I think most of Barbados have long known that the Landship really is a representation of the best values of the Barbadian personality. It is a group that over the years, actually is the longest surviving Afro-Barbadian cultural group. And over the years, they have been able to raise up generations of Barbadians, teaching them values such as resilience, working together, understanding leadership, developing leadership skills. And these are things that are more relevant today than ever. We recognize that the movement has taken a number of blows. I think since the 70s, the numbers have been declining. And we know that there is so much that Barbadians can learn or relearn about the value of the Landship. So this initiative really is like the second series of investments we've been making in training. Last year, over the last 2 years, we would have focused more on developing Landships in schools and offered training successfully in 12 schools around the island. This year, we're shifting our focus to the community level, and this program is being rolled out in 5 zones in the first instance: the North, Central, West Central, South, and East zones. The program got off the ground just last Saturday, 2 days ago. We are a little undersubscribed in the West Central and the East zones, but there's room in every zone for more persons. We've challenged the captain leads, we call them coordinating captains, to build out their ships, aim for as many as 75 young people, well, young and old, because some kids are joining up with their parents, and we're allowing that too.
Yes.
Landship in its form really has something for everyone.
And so, Captain Rashida, talk to me a little bit. Once we board the ship, what are we engaged? What are some of the different tasks that we would be engaged in?
Okay, well, many of us in Barbados see Landship as just the performative component. However, there are a lot more areas that the children will be exposed to when they join these ships. So in terms of the performative, which you know already, we will have the movement. You also have the drumming and penny whistle. And that in itself is exciting, right? You get to learn skills along the way that you can then take with you. And outside of the performative components, you have an education component where you're learning about the history and traditions of the Landship. So you get to know where it came from and how it's developed over the years, what happened to it, and the revitalization, how the NCF is trying to revive it now, right? You get an exposure of financial literacy. Many of our young children today don't understand how to save, don't understand how to invest, don't understand the value of the dollar. And that's one of the areas where we will be trying to educate them on as well. They're going to get an insight into Sailor's Valentine, which is another one of our cultural heritage, one of the areas which is also dying here in Barbados. And we want them to know that we have a culture. And that's the important part of it. We are also going to have some tours, so we're not just going to be in one location, but we're going to be exploring who we are as Barbadians, because Barbados, we are cultural beings as well. We don't just have to take from others, but we can, learn about ourselves, develop ourselves, and then set sail to teach others who we are.
And I'm glad that you've expressed it in the way that you have, because oftentimes when we attend events and we see the performances by the Landship, people think of it as merely a spectacle, but it's much more than a spectacle. Because in the sessions that you're having, you're teaching not just about the moves, but you're teaching about the movement of the Landship and the reason for the Landship and much more life skills as well. So how successful have you been thus far? Andrea said this is the second season, and so how successful have you been to see a turn in that perception?
Okay, well, I have been with them from inception. I was stationed at the Princess Margaret Secondary School, being the commander of BLS Asante Huni, which is the name that we came up with for our ship. And I can say it has been a blessing to the students at the Princess Margaret Secondary School. It has been an eye-opener for, as I said before, who they are as people, as Barbadians. So it taught them the understanding of self. It has taught them respect, time management, because, you know, you have set times for rehearsals, you have set times where you're teaching other areas. And then when you have performances and they have to come out, you have a call time that you have to get there and by. And then you, in terms of the routine, the sequence, understanding, training, rehearsals, all of that really helped them with that component of respect, time management, commitment, focus. You know, so a lot of the times we see students start something and then it kind of just dwindles on. They don't continue it. And it was a joy to see those students who joined on to the Landship in Schools program at the Princess Margaret School and how invested they are now. Confidence building. When we first started, it was such a hesitation for them, like, I don't know if I should perform. What is going to happen? Do we have to do this? And now they're coming like, Mom, so when are we going to perform next? I heard this is happening. Could we check and see if we can perform there? It is heartwarming to see how they have grown within themselves and how they are now going out to the others within the school to invite them into the program because they themselves see the potential of it. So it's a positive space for these young children, something that is desperately needed within our communities right now. And the other skills that they're learning are life skills, right? So it's interesting to see how they are now teaching the others that are coming after them, after this year that they were a part of the Landship in Schools program. And it's built a family. Yes. You know, we're no longer just individuals coming to learn something, but we're now a family. So where they see some of their friends within the program struggling in certain areas, and they will try to help them at first, but if they can't, then they come to myself or the lead coordinator or the drum major, and they say, well, I recognize X is happening. Could you help us? And we then will decide if we're going to do that quietly by supporting them in the endeavor, or if we'll come out and say, well, I recognize this is happening, here is how I can help. But it's very family oriented once you start to appreciate those around you and see the bigger picture. You know?
And you know,
and
Andrea, come to you because, sorry about that. It's also an appreciation of the culture, because one of the questions I asked of our team members here, you know, before we started the program was, would you join the Landship? No, I'm not into that kind of walking up. And so for a lot of people, that's a perception that you have to still to debunk. So talk to me about what these classes can do for those who are still unfamiliar with our culture.
This can open up people's eyes in understanding that what they may dismiss as just entertainment and performance actually has some very significant representations of memory. Many of the movements, many of the maneuvers speak to acting out aspects of our history as a people, as a movement. And within this training program, everyone who takes part understands it's a lot richer than one assumed. People do, unfortunately, dismiss Landship. It's only about a bunch of people walking up, but that is the tip of the iceberg. As a matter of fact, most of those dances have specific names, specific symbols, and a very interesting history that the academics are still mining. It is so very rich. The Landship was the Welfare Society of Barbados before we had national insurance. It was the banking for poor people before banks really took on or were interested in supporting the efforts of financial empowerment of the recently freed masses in the 1800s. The Landship did a lot of what a modern Barbados currently does for its people. And in those values of self-help and working collectively to lift everyone together, those are the values that have kept it alive for over 161 years.
Wow.
So I think there's so much that we can learn from it, but we need to, step out and be a bit more curious.
All right.
In this program, we have children who give testimonies about what they thought of the Landship before they started, and then after even just 10 weeks, how their eyes are opened as to just how rich and important it is as a tradition. And it's something that's 100% Barbadian. This is something that our ancestors, our great-great-grandparents came together and created, not only out of necessity, but out of a continuation of African sensibilities of lifting everyone up together. And this is something that we wish to share and to encourage people to embrace again. It really is the platform for developing or redeveloping the resilience of our Barbadian heritage.
Amen. So walk us through quickly about the registration still and how people can actually do so.
Well, registration is open online, but we also have some persons who, aren't terribly au fait with online or have consistent internet access. Persons can contact me at the NCF. They can come and collect a hard copy registration form. They can contact any of the coordinating captains. Let me tell you very quickly, the coordinating captain for the North Zone is Geraldine Lynch, a veteran, as you know, dancer, performer, community leader. Coordinating captain for the Central Zone is Wayne Worrell, who's also currently president of the Barbados Landship Association, and that ship sets sail at the Keithbourne Complex in Belmont Road every Saturday. The coordinating captain for the South Zone is Miss Kim Donai, and she runs her ship every Saturday at the Chesterfield Brewster Center in Silver Hill. The coordinating captain for the West Central, which really opens up at the dock, is Rydell Williams. And the coordinating captain for the East is Rashida, who has done some great work in planting that first ship at Princess Margaret Secondary School for the school. And therefore, we've told her we want you to plant a community ship. And yes, while our focus is 6 to 16, we invite the adults to come along. And some of the sessions, kids have come and the parents have come and have ended up, learning the movements, learning the music, or even just being an important support, helping with roll call, etc. So important. Landship really is family, and there is a role for everyone.
Right. So, folks, you can visit the NCF's website, ncf.bb, and register online, or you can drop Andrea Wells an email. That's andrea.wells@ncf.bb to sign up. Classes are resuming soon, and they're every Saturday in the month, and you can continue to do so. So it's free, and it's available to everyone of most ages. So most of you can be a part of it all. Thank you so much, Andrea Wells. You look for me? Are you sure that wasn't my response? Andrea Wells, Chief Cultural Officer, and Rashida, thank you so much, one of the coordinating leads here. Indeed, thank you all, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Morning Barbados continues in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 6.5 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. I told you we're going to be going to Trinidad and Tobago to catch up on with a Bajan we all know very well. At the beginning, I told you his name is DJ Timeless, as you know him. I know him as John Anderson Birch. John, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning.
What's going on?
How you doing? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm sorry, but okay, there you are now. Right. So let's talk a little bit about, I'm told that you were on Morning Barbados before where they caught up with you. And one of the questions asked of me this morning was, where are you now?
Last time I think it was in Jamaica. Now I'm in Trinidad. So I'm moving around, but, representing the Bajan flag strong.
But media is still what you're in.
Yes. While I was in Jamaica, I actually had the news for the public broadcaster in Jamaica for the time that I was there. And since then, leaving there, I'm now in Trinidad at Guardian Media, where I have to manage 6 radio stations under their brand. So yes, all media, that continues to be the main love.
How is it though? I mean, you came from being the DJ on the air to managing the news department in Jamaica, now to managing 6 radio stations. Talk to us about that journey.
Well, let me just say that CBC would have given me that base, that strong foundation to be able to do the things that I'm doing now. I think if I didn't have that experience of CBC working through the ranks from being a video editor right up to being on air and managing the web department, the web services and help supervising 98. I think without that foundation, I wouldn't be where I am today. CBC allowed me to open and think, not just to be able to do the things that I feel I could do, but want to aspire to do things that are a little bit out of my comfort zone. So stepping into Jamaica and being offered the position to run the news desk, the news operation, I didn't take it lightly. I just opened my heart and my mind and I did it. And then getting the opportunity to be here in Trinidad and to manage 6 stations. Again, a lot of it's chaos because it's constant, at least in Barbados, you have somebody focusing on 1 station, but here you have to focus on 6 stations and it's a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like work. I enjoy it every single day.
And along the way, you were able to complete your degree.
Yes. Well, yes, because I started in COVID when I actually was moving to Jamaica. I was actually supposed to do some consulting in the region. And of course, we had COVID. And then during that time, there was nothing going on. So I said, you know what, let me just do this degree and spend some time while we're all indoors to do something educational. And I was able to then complete that while there, and I completed it actually while I was in Trinidad because I moved from Jamaica at the end of 2022, October 2022 to Trinidad. So I would have completed it in December 23, And yes.
And graduated summa cum laude, as a matter of fact. Not just graduate, but top of the table in your discipline as well. And so I know last year we here at the CBC would have worked with your organization in radio in a number of ways to be able to have that synergy, even though you've also fed us some interviews on Mornin Barbados. And while working there recently at your media awards, you guys copped a number of awards. Talk to us about those awards.
Yes, it was interesting for us because the media, TAT, which is our telecoms authority, they do awards every 5 years. So we actually caught on very late, and we spent a couple of hours putting together what would be for the categories that we felt that we can go after. And while we went in expecting maybe just to get an award for participating, we really didn't expect that we would have come up with 4 awards. So between ourselves and the telecoms service provider, we received the highest. So they received 4, we received 4. We received Innovative Broadcasters Award, which talked about how you push the boundaries in using technology. So we looked at the fact that we're the only media house that streams our radio stations video-wise 24/7, and making sure that people can connect and watch us all day, every single day. We look at innovative service offerings, which went to TV, and that's so radio received 3. TV got 1 for their news program, which features traveling to different Caribbean islands, looking for gems, showing people in Trinidad, why they should travel to the Caribbean and explore other Caribbean territories and just don't think about going to the US or England or those other areas. We look at Technology Distributor Award. That talked about the fact that, we no longer use, in broadcast terms, transmitter to do our outside broadcast. We do it strictly over the internet. So all of our equipment is fully digital and fully allows us to do everything that we could do, go into those areas where transmitters would usually not work, to make sure that we connect with our audience and bring the service to our listeners. And the final one, which was the biggest one of the night, Radio for Our People Award. We would have taken one of our frequencies and made it into a talk station called Freedom 106.5. And we didn't just decide to do a usual talk station. What we decided to do is position Freedom to go into those major conferences around Trinidad, to connect those conferences to the average man, bring that information that the usual people who had to spend the big dollars to go into those conferences, to be able to bring that to the average man for free. And over the last year and a half, we would have covered over 100 conferences. We've even also started to expand now to take that reach into other Caribbean countries. So last year we did a conference in Guyana as well, and we were looking at other territories for us to also connect those conferences to our listeners. So overall, we were very pleased with our take home, and we were just happy to be able to show up, and represent. Yeah.
Well then, you haven't talked about your relationship with CBC in terms of what we did last year for Carnival, but that's all right. Talk about it.
There's a lot. So last year,
talk about it.
One of my mantras here is to always try to find ways to connect the region. I believe that that's one of the things that we still continue to struggle with, connecting the region together. And of course, CBC remains my home. That's my foundation. So wherever I can to link CBC back into anything I'm doing, I will always look for that opportunity too. So last year, we did something called the Cropover crossover and the Carnival crossover. It started with the Carnival crossover, which allowed the Barbadian audience to ask the questions or hear what's happening in Trinidad for Carnival. So we had our morning shows linking up, and they discuss, the events happening in Carnival, the top songs in Carnival, the things you can look out, the places you can go, the food, the drinks, all of these different things that would entice people to want to leave Barbados to come over and experience Carnival. And we did the reverse also for Cropover. We switched it up. We did the Cropover crossover. So our Trinidadian audience got the opportunity to hear what is happening in Barbados, the biggest events, the food, the drinks, everything that is Cropover that our audience was able to take in and listen to. So we did that last year, and we believe it was a huge success. and we're now looking at furthering our relationship with CBC this coming year for Carnival as well. So keep it locked to 98.1 The One and also 94.7 because something is coming and you don't want to miss it.
All right, I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag. I will leave it right there alone, right there one time. It's important that while one is working, one is also having fun. You're still having fun?
I'm having plenty of fun. Some people wonder, my job wakes me up very early and I spend maybe a lot of time late in the evening as well. And they wonder, how do you get it done? But the reality is, when it is work, it doesn't always feel like work. It really feels like fun. And I get the opportunity to interact with some awesome people. I have about 80 staff members under my command, and there are a lot of personalities, and it's just fun to be able to interact with them and help them and guide them. And they also teach me things as well. So we have some fun. We post some videos on social media, so it's fun. Of course, the biggest challenge here for me is being away from the children. Shout out to Michael and Christopher. I miss those boys, but that's one of the hardest things being away in Barbados, is being away from the children every day. But there's a bigger goal. My goal is to make a better way for them, and that's what I'm trying to achieve by being where I am, growing that experience, and making sure that when it is time for them, they have a strong foundation to build on.
Well done. And folks, one of those people who we talked to last week was Rome. Rome also works under his charge as well. Rome is for the Carnival Catwalk. So those are some of the things. Traffic in Barbados versus traffic in Trinidad. What's that experience?
Terrible. Especially
which is terrible?
Because a lot of here, Trinidad. Well, from my end, it's pretty easy because I leave home pretty late, so I try to avoid that traffic. But a lot of people who come from the south coming into Port of Spain, because Port of Spain obviously is a city, so you have a lot of people coming from the south coming into Port of Spain every morning. And that can take a good couple of hours. So you have to leave home extremely early for those people coming from that direction. And let's say there's an accident on the road. Let me tell you, last time there was an accident, I was heading to Chaguanas, and it took me about 2.5 hours to get from where I was to the destination. I just had to sit in traffic because there was no way you can go, no way you can turn. You just had to sit it out and wait. So traffic is murder here in Trinidad. So
Lord have mercy. All right, we got to leave it there. We got to leave it there. Thank you so much, John Anderson Birch, and I call the whole name deliberately, for joining us this morning. All the best. And of course, we'll have more conversations because we have some other projects we're working on. So don't forget to feed us the details, what's happening for Carnival and other events in Trinidad, and we will do the reverse. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Have a great day.
All right. John Birch, DJ Timeless for us here at 98.1 The One, working in Trinidad and Tobago now, managing 6 radio stations, 80 people and more. All right, we'll take a break here. We're coming back with a look at the news in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. It's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's update you on the news now. Police investigations continue into a shooting yesterday at Curtin's St. Philip, which resulted in one man being killed, another injured. That incident left staff and customers shaken. Anesta Henry reports.
A brazen daylight shooting has left one man dead, and the gas station attendant also hit during the incident. This took place at the Rubis Curtin's gas station and food mart in Curtin's St. Philip. Taxi driver Junior Leacock says he had just pulled into the gas station when the shot started. Mr. Leacock says he had to duck to escape bullets that riddled the maxi taxi he was driving.
I hear this box like somebody tear a blow. When I see these three men, and then I hear like, all I could do is bang. All I could do is bang. To my side, I ain't got much room in there for me, and that tall man.
Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Inspector Rodney Innes says a male in his 40s received multiple gunshot wounds and died at the scene. The male employee was rushed to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by a private vehicle. Mr. Innes says police need help from the public as they investigate the matter.
We ask if any witnesses to come forward and give us what they saw, what they heard, so we can piece this together. This occurred on a morning where there were several customers in the service center purchasing breakfast and food, and other persons being attended to with petrol in their vehicles, and clear there. And it shows you the kind of brazen incidents that we're facing now.
Mr. Innes says the incident has left staff and customers at the gas station shaken. He also noted the number of homicides so far this year.
This is the third fatality incident, homicide for the year, and it's not a good year so far.
Police say there are reports of another shooting incident at Harlington St. Philip, which is also being investigated. They have not indicated if the two matters are related. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The National Council on Substance Abuse is widening its reach to combat substance abuse on island, and Minister of Home Affairs and Public Information Wilfred Abrams says all segments of Barbados have a part to play in rehabilitating those who might fall victim to drug use. He was speaking during their annual launch service at the Silver Sands Church of God. Rachel Agard has that story.
No single agency can tackle the scourge of substance use and abuse alone. This is according to Minister of Home Affairs and Public Information Wilfred Abrams, who says this year's national response will be deliberate and include multiple stakeholders.
The power of collaboration is invaluable, and collaboration requires us to unite diverse perspectives, expertise, and resources from various sectors. In this spirit, I'm particularly pleased that Verdun and Marina House will join with the National Council on Substance Abuse this Drug Awareness Month to host joint and complementary activities designed to educate on this scourge.
The minister reminds the church and community groups that they too have a role to play in the fight against substance abuse and helping with the creation of policies. He says he remains concerned about the percentage of people who do not seek treatment.
The work of NCSA and Verdun and Marina Houses and similar organizations has become increasingly complex due to the introduction of new psychoactive substances in Barbados. This, friends, parishioners, constituents, invited guests and online participants, this is a serious concern. As the Minister with responsibility for the National Council on Substance Abuse, I have already issued 2 alerts through the early warning system about the presence and use of these dangerous drugs in Barbados.
Meanwhile, NCSA's manager, Betty Hunt, says they have widened its reach to those seeking their services. She says they now have a suite of services which can be offered both online and in person.
We have to ensure that more systems are put in place to mitigate the harms caused not only at the individual level, but also in the wider society. I therefore call again for a coordinated frontal approach to this issue through the adoption of a Barbados National Anti-Drug Plan, which can provide a mechanism not only for measurement, but it can provide a mechanism to how we intervene and how we, more importantly, reintegrate persons back into society.
Ms. Hunt says problematic drug use has the potential to erode economic gains by destroying the lives of users and increasing the burden on public health and the criminal justice system. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
West Indies and host Pakistan Shaheens settled for a draw in their three-day warm-up match at the Islamabad Cricket Club Oval yesterday. Chasing 312, the home side ended the final day on 128 for 3. Jamal Warrican was the standout bowler for the West Indies as he picked up 2 for 23. Earlier, the Shaheens declared their first innings at 212 for 9 for the Windies to have a 132-run lead. And in a bid to force a result, the Windies declared their second innings on 177 for 5. Alec Athene's top scored with an unbeaten 58. Windies vice-captain Joshua De Silva says it was good practice for the Caribbean side despite the coldish conditions.
I think everybody got what they needed out of this. Some got run, some didn't. The bowlers got a good run out. The spinners got their fingers turning so far. So it was just about getting out there in these conditions. It's a bit cold, but getting accustomed to the conditions, the pitch, and then getting ready for the first test in Multan. I think time in the middle is exceptional for the boys who did, and some boys didn't, which is expected. Well, not expected, but it happens. It's cricket. Not everybody's going to have the best game every time. If it was, we'll win everything. So for us, it's just about taking those learning experiences and going back in the nets in the next couple of days and getting ready for the test in Malta.
At this hour, more news on TV at 12 noon. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are 14 and a half minutes after 7 o'clock as we turn our attention now to almost the ending of a tour of duty by His Excellency Roger Nias, U.S. Ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. Ambassador, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
How would you describe your tour of duty?
Epic. I think that it was short, but incredibly consequential for Barbados and this region. I have an amazing team that focused on my 3 priorities, which when I first arrived, I set out the priorities of addressing climate change, enhancing regional security, and fostering economic prosperity for all. And we made significant progress on all of those. I've been here 1 year. It's way too short, but with the presidential election results, I'm heading home on January 20th, which is also Inauguration Day. So yes, that is not by coincidence. So I'll be in the air when the new president is sworn in. But I'm just super grateful to the Barbadian people, the people of the Eastern Caribbean, and President Biden. President Biden hand-selected me for this region, and I had an amazing experience, and we did good things together.
You came from a background in communications.
I did.
And here it is now, you're navigating the seas within the Caribbean to each island, each of which, while similar in some ways, different in other ways. How were you able to navigate all of that using your skills?
Well, first, I respect, the independence and dynamic nature of each of the countries. So I'm accredited to 7 independent countries, as well as the OECS, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. And I have more countries in my portfolio than any U.S. ambassador in the world. So it is almost an impossible task to provide the type of quality service that these countries need and deserve. But we do, we do a very good job with what we have and the resources we have. And my commitment to each of the prime ministers was, I'm here for you. I am President Biden's representative and a representative of the American people. And, we set out, independent programs in each of the countries. But I do think that there are similarities. I mean, the themes I laid out, my 3 priorities, are relevant in each one of these countries. And so, I think it's about connection and it's about relationship and trust. And so I really set out to build trusting relationships with not only the leadership, but the people, the real people that live and work in each of these countries.
If you could give a report on how you perceived, from your moving around the Caribbean people perceived America. There's some who have the love-hate relationship with North America. How would you describe that perception of North America?
I would say, the president's representative, we can never take those relationships, connections for granted. At the same time, I think each person has an individual connection to the United States, whether it's cultural, historical, familial. Everybody has family in the U.S. And so while we may not always agree with U.S. policy, and honestly, I'm in the same boat, that we understand that there's an unbreakable bond between this region and the United States.
As you move around as well, you met the people, you got to know the places. You were based in Barbados, but you traveled the region. Was there one island that stood out for you as, boy, I wish I could live here?
Well, first of all, I would say Barbados, because this has been my home for the last year, and I have loved every aspect of being in this beautiful place, from the leadership. I've been adopted by several families, which I'm very grateful for, and I fully embrace. I will be back to this place because I have friends here now. I think each island is unique and different. I would visit all of them. Mm-hmm. I have a particular affinity to St. Kitts and Nevis.
As do I.
I love it.
As do I.
Yes, I do. I would vacation there, yes, like as an individual. Mm-hmm. I will come back to Barbados because it's home. Yes. I mean, this is my second home. But I think for that quick little trip, I would definitely go to St. Kitts and Nevis.
I am so glad you said that, because there's so many people who don't understand when I say there is something special and different, yes, about St. Kitts and Nevis.
It's tiny.
Makes you
it's tiny.
Precisely, but it is chock full of a lot of experiences.
That's right.
And that's what makes the Caribbean so diverse and so interesting.
That's right.
Was there anything about the region that you did not know, or that you had a perception of, but now you know better?
I'm from the west coast of the United States, mm-hmm, so we call it the Pacific Northwest. So I'm closer to Alaska than most other states, and so we're a long way from this region. So what I didn't understand is just the richness of this region, from the culture, the history, the people, the food, the entertainment. I think one of my highlights certainly was I had a 30-minute sit down with Rihanna, and I went in as a fan and I came out as a total crazy fan, because she's just so real. And what I love about her is she is so famous and accomplished, and yet when she comes back here, she's a real person. Yeah. And people treat her like,
a real person.
And I love that. I love that about this region. And I think I grew up in a town of 1,200 people. My dad was a fisherman on the Pacific Ocean, so I know what ocean economies are like. Small, middle class, small towns. And what I saw here is you punch way above your weight. Especially Barbados. I think because of your leadership, because of Prime Minister Motley, you are on the global stage and people know of Barbados. Mm. And when I was offered this role, I was offered it, the White House called and said, the president wants you to, serve this role, and listed all 7 countries. And when I heard Barbados, I was like, yes, I'm in. And so, because I just didn't know the region, I'd never been. I'd never been to any of these countries. And so when I first arrived, and I sat on this couch, I was a little nervous. I'm like, what am I going to bring to this region? And it turns out that my skills were completely relevant.
Wow. Food. Let's talk food for a second, because obviously your taste had to change. The things that you grew up eating in the Pacific, you no longer had to eat here in Barbados. Right. How was it for you? And if so, then what favorite taste caught your attention while here?
Easy. The fish cutter at Caboose, absolutely, bar none.
Yes.
If I ate that every day, I would be a happy person.
Yes.
Soursop ice cream, that is a new one for me. I love that. I actually really enjoy roasted breadfruit. I've tried everything.
Right.
I generally don't, I come from both Native American and Scandinavian background. We don't generally like spicy food. And so I've dipped my toe into the spicy, the sauces, and I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I think I probably even more so than the food, I've enjoyed the rum, and have had a fair amount of rum punch in my year here, and have become a connoisseur of rum punch.
That's fantastic. What do you see to be the ongoing threats for the Caribbean from where you sit?
I think that they are threefold, and they really map to my priorities. I think climate is going to be and continue to be a serious threat. I was here in the midst of Hurricane Beryl. I visited Grenada and St. Vincent, within days of the hurricane wiping through this region, and it was really terrifying. My region, we have earthquakes and tsunamis, which are also terrifying. But I'd never been through a hurricane, and I will say that this region is not fully prepared for more of those. And so, creating buildings that are more resilient, homes that are more resilient, the infrastructure that's more resilient to climate, I think is huge. And I think Prime Minister Motley is absolutely right to raise the alarm bells. I think the second is security because of climate. And I think because there's so much attention and resources being poured into climate, sometimes security isn't as robust. So a lot of countries don't have military. They have, local, forces, defense forces. Maybe they have a Coast Guard. I think having a more robust security is, I think, really important. And I know it's something the United States is really interested in supporting. I see that not only from trafficking of narcotics, guns, people, but it's also illegal fishing. I see, I grew up in a fishing family, and I know, if a big factory ship comes through and sweeps up all of the fish, what are the local fisher folk going to go, and how are they going to support their families? So we need to have a better regional security system. I think we have a system called the regional security system, which is phenomenal. It just needs to be bigger, and it needs to be, and the countries need to have more robust support. That's one of the things I'm most proud of. I think my proudest accomplishment in my tour was helping to secure almost $1 billion in financing and potential financing for Barbados and St. Kitts and Nevis that is focused on things like climate resilience, energy transition, vessels that can be used for humanitarian purposes, from planes to boats. So all those things, that is going to matter tremendously to this region. And I also see one of the biggest risks is the lack of U.S. private sector here. There are so few. I come from the private sector, and looking around and meeting people, there are so few American companies here, and there should be many, many more. And that's something that I hope to support on the outside, but I think that's certainly a risk.
You talked about security just a moment, but land-based security but what about cyber security? Because we're now almost prime location for cyber threats.
Well, and you're already experiencing cyber threats. So when I say security, it's land, air, sea, cyber. So it's all of the above, and absolutely cyber. And that is something we actually have partnered with Barbados and the region. We have amazing cyber experts in our military and others who are willing to train and help protect infrastructure, because you can't operate a government if your systems are down, or they have now accessed, you know, your financials, all of those types of things and that's true in the US too. I mean, we have the same threats, but we definitely want to share that technology here.
What were some of the interesting places you would have traveled around Barbados and discovered for yourself and thought, oh, this is nice?
So I do a weekly walk on a beach. That's about an hour long, and I really like Bass Rock Beach. I've enjoyed that a lot. I like Hunt's Garden. I've taken a lot of my friends there. It's such a magical oasis. I very much like that. Bathsheba reminds me of home. So that type of small ocean front, you know, violent kind of ocean waves. We don't have the beautiful rock stacks, but that reminds me of home. I have been pretty much in every area I took a island safari, which was really fun. And we were driving like a million miles an hour through the sugarcane fields. And, you know, that was really fun.
It was rugged.
Yeah, I love that. So, you know, I've experienced so much. But what really, the memories are about the people, like the people that I've met, the people who've been so incredibly warm to me. President Mason and her family, I've come to know really well. The Motley family, I've come to know really well. And they are lovely people who care deeply about this country and the region. So I feel, you know, Bajan.
Nice.
You are part of me now, and I will always be an advocate and a friend. And I don't want to say I'll never forget this place, because I will continue to come back. I will continue to visit, and this is part of me now.
Have you been collecting mementos? Okay, so can you share a little bit of what you've stumbled upon that you want to take with you?
Yes. I am, and I probably shouldn't say this on TV, but I'm a bit of a crazy rock collector. And so I'll walk on a beach and I'll see this little stone and I'll throw it in my shorts. By the end of the walk, my pants are falling off. So but things that remind me of Barbados, I have, you know, I'm definitely on the hunt for a Caboose t-shirt, so I will try to acquire that before I leave. The things, the art, I'm a big art collector. So I have actually purchased some art while I've been in Barbados and in the region. You know, pieces that are meaningful to my experience. So I will take it, but everything that matters is going to be in my heart.
Now that your days are winding down, you have one more week
in
Barbados before you head home again.
1 week today.
Yes. How do you feel?
I feel content. I feel proud. I feel a bit sad, mainly because of the relationships. I left no work undone. I did everything that I committed to doing and more. So I'm extremely proud of the work that the embassy has done under my leadership. And I also feel really proud that my deputy is going to become the acting ambassador, Karen Sullivan. She's phenomenal. So she and I are in sync on our priorities and our love for this region. So I don't think you're going to see a big change, you know, in the near term. You know, ultimately there will be a new ambassador, but we have no idea when that will happen. So I feel that I feel the clock ticking. I do. It's like, what more can I fit into my schedule before I leave? But I feel really content. I do.
Have you given thought to what's next for you?
Stay tuned.
Spoken like a true media man. Stay tuned. Roger Nias.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your service to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean as U.S. Ambassador. And we could only wish you the absolute best in whatever you choose to do next. Because something tells us you have the youth and the vigor and the interest to make it phenomenal. Thank you very, very much, sir, for your service.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today and watch your business grow. Contact us at 467-5559 or email marketing@cbc.bb.
We enjoy a game with dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. I did ask you a question at the beginning of the show, and I have not heard a beep from any of you, and I'm so disappointed because it's a simple question. What if you knew tomorrow's news today? What would that mean to you, and what would you do? What would you do? See, I'm very, very serious. What if you knew tomorrow's news today? What would you do? And what would that mean to you? Simple Simon May the Pieman. Be honest and tell me what you think. What would you do? 228-5562 or 228-5563. I really want to show you some other pictures a little later on as well. But, you know, that's what I want to hear your way in on. What would you do if you knew tomorrow's news today? And what would that mean to you? Would you want to know tomorrow's news today? Would you really want to know, or would you rather wait until tomorrow to get that news? We have a caller on the line. Good morning. Hello.
Blessings, Pearson.
I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
I can't hear you. So we'll try to... Hold on. Hi, there you are. Hello.
Hello?
Good morning, Gail.
Yes.
If you knew tomorrow's news today, what would that mean to you, and what would you do with it?
Well, I wonder what Jesus think when he...
When what?
I put myself as thinking about when Jesus saw things, and when saw things coming, I wonder how he felt. But for me, I have dreams sometimes, and sometimes things just come to me, but I ignore them.
Okay.
And then it happened maybe the next day or the month or whatever.
And then you say to yourself, I should not have ignored it, right?
Right.
Right.
It's true.
All right, fair enough. So if you knew tomorrow's news today, now that you know all of that, what would you do with it?
Avoid. If there's something to avoid it. Or if it's something I have to do, I'll do it. And that is what side does sometimes.
You'll be obedient to that call. All right, Gail, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good morning. 228-5562 or 228-5563. All right. So to tell me, hold on, Pearson, do this. I want you guys to take a look at what I'm going to show you now, and then I'll show you something right after. Take a look at this. We ready? Good. So are you seeing this? You see that? No, that's me. Yeah, but I think I look the same. Now, take a look in the studio with me and see what you see. Joining me is that same lady, Miss Tedra Kirby. Tedra, good morning.
Good morning,
Ta-da!
Pearson. that was quite the surprise, actually.
She didn't know what we had planned, but here we are now. Tedra, I like the shock of color.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to
welcome.
brighten your morning. I know you have an early start.
And you've done it. So explain the thinking.
Honestly, I love coloring my hair. I've been doing it since secondary school. Don't tell the principal. And yeah, so I've had this color for a year, and I just decided to add a bit more to it. And then when I get bored of it, I'll change it again. I'll change it again.
When we met you way back then, it was because you were assisting us with information out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines after La Soufrière had erupted. And I mean, it was quite a change in your life at that time. When you reflect on those days, what do you see? What do you think?
I think that reflection comes with a lot of emotion, and even talking to you about it now, it still really stirs a lot of emotion, because you hear of these natural disasters on TV, but to live through a volcanic eruption, I think there are no words that can truly explain what that feeling is like. It's very emotional, seeing others in so much distress. And I mean, I had little inconveniences when you consider the fact that there are some people who lost everything. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines is still very much in that period of recovery. It's not that long ago, especially for a small island developing state. It takes us even longer to recover from that type of natural disaster to that extent. But it's very emotional. I know for some time after, my son, anytime he saw very thick clouds, he would ask, is it erupting again? And the other day I saw a specific cloud cross here in Barbados, and I was like, this looks a lot like what that time was. So there are instances where it comes back to you and you just naturally feel really emotional, but also a sense of gratitude, because it could have been worse.
Yeah.
It could have been worse, and yeah.
And then there was Beryl. And Tedra, you know, it's like you can't.
We've been through it. We've been through it. Vincentians have been through it. And even when you're not in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you still very much feel impacted by it. Your family is there. Your friends are there. That's always going to be home. So we had COVID. We had Soufrière. We've had Beryl. I pray 2025 there is nothing for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because every time something happens, it really puts us back. It's like we're trying to move forward and then we take 2 steps back because of a natural disaster. And unfortunately, you can't really prevent natural disasters. The most we can try to do is to mitigate the effects. I know very much we're still in burial recovery. There are a lot of people who lost homes in the southern Grenadines. Union Island, as you guys know, Canoa and those other places, but especially Union Island was almost flattened. So there is a lot of work still being done there. A lot of people still have not gotten back to where they were before. We would love for the recovery to be quicker, naturally, because people want that sense of normalcy, but we aren't there yet. So that's unfortunately the situation back home.
You know, and I'm sure for a lot of people, they're asking, you know, but Tedra, you are the voice out of St. Vincent. We saw St. Vincent through your eyes and your reporting. What are you doing here?
Right. So I know the last time I came, we were actually on your radio show together. And That's almost 3 years ago, Pearson.
Yes.
That's been a while. But I have relocated to Barbados. So I do reside here now.
That's to our benefit.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I do reside here now, and I'm still in the field of communications, but not necessarily in front of the camera as often. I do work with a foreign government that has a diplomatic mission here. So I do the communications I lead on the strategic communications for that mission that is here, that has a presence in Barbados.
How has it been, though, the relocation to Barbados for you?
It's been interesting.
No, I'm interested.
I think, you coming from the Caribbean, you have this sense that it's one Caribbean, and you tend to see a lot of the similarities, especially in my case where you're a student of history. So socially and educationally, you know of the similarities and you know of the differences, but to feel the differences is something else. I think also coming to Barbados for a vacation is very different than living in Barbados. But my experience here has been really positive so far. I love Bajans. I was just telling one of your colleagues in the corridor how different it is sometimes. The ease with which a Bajan would pay you a compliment and just go their way. And it's not necessarily something that we always have or is on that scale in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The cost of living is a shock. I would not lie.
Got you.
That has taken some personal adjusting, because you've moved and the transition was so quick. You still do the conversion, and I've been told don't do the conversion because you're going to be in problems. But I absolutely love Barbados. I love the beaches. I'm a water baby, so it's so convenient to have so many lovely beaches to go to.
Yes.
And really and truly trying to establish a sense of home here. And I'm very grateful to the people that I've managed to interact with that have given me that sense of belonging and community here in Barbados.
You talked earlier about a son, and did he come with you?
He is here.
Oh, really?
He is here. He loves it so far, but of course, again, misses home occasionally.
Take a look at your screen. That's your baby.
That's my baby. Oh, wow.
Miko is his name?
Miko,
How old is he?
He is 9.
9 years old.
He's 9.
Miko, and he goes to the Milton Lynch Primary.
He does. It's
boy.
close to home, and my family, he goes there on evenings after school, so it's very convenient.
Yes.
And it's been okay, given the adjustment. It was a big ask, of course, asking your 9-year-old to move. Not even with you, but after, because I came before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been okay for him. He loves riding his bike on afternoons. He comes home, does his homework, he leaves, and I don't see him until after 6 o'clock when he decides to come back.
Yes, that's sweet. And that's good to hear from you, because I know you've worked so hard. And we all want a little bit of peace in life at some point in time.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that you're able to settle here, and to find that place where you don't have to worry. Your son can ride until sunset.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
I mean, I think sometimes initially it was a little intimidating because it's like, you don't know this place?
Yes.
Where are you doing? But it gives him a sense of freedom. It's something to get him out of the house, and he loves the outdoors. He's not a TV, tablet, phone baby, which I'm so grateful for. So that has truly been a really good experience for him and for us. And to be fair, also me just relocating here is an opportunity for my son as well. For Barbados presents opportunities. There is no getting around that, especially coming from a smaller Caribbean country. There are lots of opportunities here. And of course, there's professional opportunity here, which is part of the reason that I relocated. So it has been good to us. That's what I'll say.
What's the future you want for your son, Miko?
I want him to be his best self and his authentic self. I want for him to be confident, to be mindful, to be thoughtful, caring, and truly giving and excelling in what he wants to do and really make a difference. Parenting every day, as soon as he gets out the vehicle, I said, remember, And he finishes it. He says, yes, Mom, I'm a leader. And I said, you are a leader of what? Myself and positive things, because it's so important to reinforce that. And I want him to embody that. And he has absolutely been making me proud. So he's on the right track. I'm proud of him. And he challenges me, so.
We are proud of you, Tedra. Honestly,
Thank you.
I mean, that's a phenomenal technique that you use. I really hope that other parents can learn who haven't yet used it to do the same with their children, to constantly reinforce those positives, especially when everything around you feels strange. And that's strange. Even though we live here, we can see some strange behaviors happening around us that make us pause for just a moment to question, are you Barbadian? By the way you're behaving, you don't seem to be. And so it's good to know that you can reinforce in your child the reason that you exist, and the reason why that child exists is to be a leader and to control its own thoughts and its own actions and make a positive impact on the others with whom it interacts as well. Tedra.
You know what, Pearson, you mentioned being...
you know, but go ahead.
No, you mentioned being Bajan, and he has the thickest Bajan accent.
Already?
You would not, already. You would not believe it. Bajans listen to him and you're not Bajan. He's like, no. And I'm like, trust me, I'm just as shocked as you. He has completely embraced the experience.
Good boy, Miko.
So you have a bonus, Bajan.
Yes. Tedra, thank you so much. It is so wonderful to catch up with you.
Thank you so much,
I'm so glad
Pearson.
you live here. Now you can do so much more.
I know, and the CBC team who has honestly felt it has been very embracing. It's been years, and I'm very grateful that we've been in touch all these years, and I'm always here to provide updates.
Yes.
But thank you so much for the opportunity. It's so good to see you. Happy New Year.
You too. Thank you so much. Don't forget, you can call on us.
I will.
Good girl. Thank you. Tedra Kirby, our girl from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, now living and working here in Barbados with her son Miko, who is 9 years old. He goes to the Milton Lynch Primary. So when you see him on the street, just wave and say, hi, Miko. We saw you on TV. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love crew.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
$11 to go to 8 o'clock as we're joined this morning by these two gentlemen who are going to be telling us about the Bikers Generosity Food Basket Drive. Tyrone Stewart is with the Distinguished Cruisers, and Kevin Wickham is with the Black Knight Bikers. Listen, I love these names. I honestly love these names. So Kevin, tell me about the name, the Black Knight Riders. Where did that come from?
All right, it originated from the founder, Fabian Reeves. He was with other guys, and I guess they miraculously brought it in there. He's the founder and the current president. We're taking the absence of leave for this year, so I'm acting president for this year. The name, I guess, came about, I guess, as you know, you will watch. There was a movie, not Night Raider. There's a movie there, Biker Boys or something like that. And I guess it was a group in there that was named Black Knight Bikers too. So I guess they probably got it from that, however.
What secondary school did you go to?
Coaching.
Listen to me. Now you are a good man. A great man as well. As did I.
Yes,
as did I.
Yes,
is it motorbike or bicycle riding?
No, it's motorcycles.
Motorcycle riding?
Yes, please. Motorcycles.
The boom booms, all right.
Yes,
no problem. What about you as Tyrone, the distinguished cruisers? What do you guys do? You also motorcycle?
Yeah, we're motorcycle club. Yeah, we also have a school, just like Black Knight. Their extension is Busy Bees. The distinguished cruiser is basically distinguished gentlemen, but we changed the gentleman part and add the cruisers for the bikes. Yeah.
This is fantastic. But you're now taking up an initiative for to really help those who are in need. Tell me a little bit about how that is going to work.
All right. Every year, we come up with a full basket drive where we get the biker community together, some other sponsors to donate either food stuff or funds, and we purchase dry goods, package them in different packages and stuff. We get on the bikes with the other guys, the Distinguished Cruisers, 246 called Squad, Tridents, which is Jim unfortunately couldn't be here, to give to the less fortunate, because we realize that in Barbados it's a trying times for everybody. Everybody may not be able to do certain things, so we look into communities, we look for those who are less fortunate, and we ride around with the food baskets on some vehicles, because it's obviously we can't go on any motorcycles. So we got them on some vehicles, and we stop in selected communities, and we distribute the hampers.
In terms of collection, how do you go about making sure you have the items so you can give it away?
They're from donations. We hold various events, and we put the ad out there so people reach out, and they bring the supplies, and we just put it together.
So this coming Arabaro Day, January the 21st, there's a big event you guys are having.
Yes, please.
So who's going to tell me about it?
All right. So on January 21st, this is where we come together, as I said, with the biker community. We formulate in one selected area, and then we head out nice, cool ride to these selected places where we choose different hampers to select to different communities with different groups. So I would present hampers to one community, Taiwan will present, Jim will present from Tridents, 246 Quad Squad, and it all came together from, we really depend on the sponsors. So it's a big thank you for Soul Addiction, Telma Sports Bar, Belva Auto Spears, you know? So,
but you're starting off on 21st of January, Arabaro Day, from Martindale's Road, hospital area. You know, you guys all move small. There's a lot of noise. So where exactly Martindale's Road are you guys starting from?
That's at the other side of the hospital.
Okay, so it should not be noise pollution there.
No, please. No,
just
please.
checking. So how many people are going to be in this convoy of bikers who are going to be hitting the road?
I could probably say 50. Probably 50, maybe more. Depends on who comes out.
It is truly going to be a spectacle to watch you guys do this. And with your convoy following you as you go to distribute to those out there in our communities who are generally in need through the generosity of your supporters.
Yes, please.
As well. And there were a number of you doing this. So I really want to wish all of you the very best. I thank you, first of all, for reaching out into your community, using what you do best, enjoy motorcycling, but taking that into the community to make a difference to those who sometimes will complain about you guys. You know? And I'm glad to show the positive side of what you're doing as well. So well done. Is there anything else you wanted to add? I see your...
When you said the positivity, we also trying to, all the biker clubs, we really trying to sample the negative stigma toward motorcyclists. I mean, like everything in life, there will be positive people and there will be negative people. We cannot take the blame for the lawless riders that are on the streets. We can't. What we are known for is for charity and cool riding. Unfortunately, Jim can't be here, but Jim is a big supporter for safe riding and that kind of stuff, right? And he's from Tridents, right? But as I say, we just trying to put to the public that we want to let you all know that there are positive motorcyclists in Barbados.
So that's the initiative, folks. Bikers Generosity, the food basket drive. It's on Tuesday coming, the 21st of January, leaving Martindale's Road around 8 o'clock, and then they're going into the communities. As far as St. Lucie?
As far as St. Lucie.
There you go. So they might very well right up next to you and offer you a basket indeed from their own generosity and the support of their kind sponsors as well. Thank you so much, Tyrone, and thank you, Kevin, for joining us this morning, and all the best with this initiative and the others that no doubt you guys are planning. And good to see you, Mr. CP.
Yes, please.
All right. What can I do? Can I share with folks the video that I talked about the family in the United States, the mother and son? Can I do that? All right, so we're going to try to bring that video to you because I think it's such a heartwarming story. You wouldn't believe it. Imagine going to your favorite eatery place, interacting with somebody day in, day out, and not knowing there is a connection. Take a look at this.
Our house was the cookie house.
Their connection started
Good morning.